Hey guys, I hope you're doing well. Today I filmed a Chit-Chat Get Ready With Me video, which is what you're about to see, but I need to apologize in advance because do you see these lines? Yeah, like right there. The sun is coming through these blinds that are right here. It's just making these lines appear everywhere. And so I'm leaning in right now so they're not all over my face. So for today's Get Ready With Me video, this is just my regular daily routine. This is what I have been doing for a really long time. I mean, since I haven't been on here in a really long time, I thought I'd just show you guys kind of the products that I'm using on a daily basis. And that's pretty much it. So I hope you guys like it and let's just jump right in. Okay, so good morning. Okay, so the first thing I want to throw out there is that my face has been kind of rinsed off and I moisturized everything this morning. I don't usually wash my face in the morning because my face can get pretty dry, especially now that it's getting colder outside, it gets pretty dry. So I usually just kind of splash my face with some water and call it good. I did moisturize though, and my hands are clean. So let's get started. So the first thing I'm going to do is take my Smashbox Photo Finish Foundation Primer. This is awesome. This is pretty much the only primer I ever really use. And I just put it on my fingers and I don't put it everywhere. I just kind of put it where the surface of my skin needs to be a little bit more smoothed out. So that's primarily around my acne-prone regions, like my chin and my nose, and I usually kind of bring it up into my forehead a little bit, mainly because I'm a very expressive person, and so I raise my eyebrows a lot and my forehead wrinkles a little bit, and so I kind of put a little bit of primer there just so foundation and stuff doesn't settle into those lines. I think you guys are gonna notice that my kind of daily routine is pretty much dominated by making my skin look better. I think maybe, possibly, you might agree that my skin does look a lot better than it used to, for sure. I'm pretty sure the last video I uploaded on this channel, like before the update one, was my progression with treating my acne. So it's definitely a lot better. I still break out like every so often. I kind of just went through a breakout, but it's definitely a lot better than it was. I don't really get cystic acne anymore like I used to. I think I can pretty much thank Curology for that. They used to be Pocket Derm and I love Pocket Derm. They changed their name and I guess rebranded a little bit, but as far as I know, they are the same company. That's what I've been consistently using to treat my acne for the past year. It's definitely helped. So go check out my video where I talk about that a little bit more if you're curious. I will link those in the description bar below and you can check on these videos in the upper right hand corner of your screen to check them out. So anyway, I'm gonna take the NYX HD Photogenic Concealer. This is green, as you can see. If you're into color theory, green kind of minimizes red, it neutralizes the color. So if you have redness in your skin, green concealer is your best friend. I'm not gonna take very much of this because it's really green. I'm gonna put it on the back of my hand. And then I'm actually gonna mix it with the MAC Pro Longwear Concealer. When I picked this up, the MAC lady definitely got me the wrong color. So this is quite dark. Like even just looking at it in the jar, it's definitely like, if you compare that to my my neck color, it's definitely a little bit dark for me. And the pathetic thing is this is, I think, NW20. So, I mean, it's so dark that I feel like NW15 might even be too dark. Pale Pride, okay. So I'm literally gonna just take a pump of that and put it right on top of the green concealer. And then, oh no, I forgot my little brush. And then 1 second, I forgot the brush that I use to mix this. So to mix this, I'm just going to use the Real Techniques. I think this is just a concealer brush. Oh, detailer brush. I pretty much always just use this to mix concealer. I didn't set up my studio lights, so I'm using the window for this. Can you see the marks on my hands are from the window? So I'm really hoping I don't accidentally like lean into where the blinds are, well, letting light in. So anyway, yeah, I'm mixing this concealer and then I'm just gonna take a little dab of it and I'm just going to start putting this where I have some acne spots, yay! Luckily, most of this is not active breakouts. Right now it's just like redness left over from a breakout, which is actually really nice because that means it's healing. So once I have that, I'm going to take, the Real Techniques sponge. This is the dupe for the Beauty Blender. I've always preferred this to the Beauty Blender, mainly because the Beauty Blender is $20 and I'm not going to spend $20 on a sponge. Like, I just can't do it. I can't bring myself to buy a $20 brush. Sponge, not brush. With the little pointy end, I'm just lightly tapping on those spots. And this is just gonna kind of help blur out the edges of that concealer. I'm not really going overboard because if I overblend, it will basically just take off the makeup and that's kind of pointless. Also, this is damp, by the way. Okay, that looks pretty good. All right, so the next thing I'm going to do, this might seem kind of counterintuitive because you're always told not to put liquid over powder because that makes it look cakey, but that's actually exactly what I'm gonna do. Not to look cakey, this is not gonna look cakey, but it is gonna kind of help set the concealer in place before I put the foundation on top of it. Because if I put the foundation on top of it right now, there's a huge chance it would just pull all of that concealer away and it would look like I didn't even conceal. Not cool with that. So I'm going to set it first with a translucent setting powder. I'm using the NYX HD Studio finishing powder. I just put some in the lid, so that's what's going on in here. And I'm just kind of swirling a brush in there, tapping off the excess. Yeah, I would definitely want to tap off the excess here because again, if you don't, then it has the likelihood of looking cakey. And I'm just going to lightly tap that on top of all of the places that I just concealed. Okay, so there is that. Now I'm gonna go in with some foundation. I'm using the Makeup Forever HD foundation. This is in the I don't know what shade this is in. It's, I think, the lightest shade. I'm gonna start with just a pump. One pump of that on the back of my hand next to the concealer mess that's on the back of my hand. And then I'm going to take, again, my sponge. I'm going to dip it in there. Boop, boop. And I'm gonna start dotting this kind of around my face. I'm focusing on the center part of my face first because that's the part that gets the most red. Redness is kind of all around this area for me and it kind of gets less red toward the outer parts of my face. So I'm gonna start with the more red places first. And I'm not really going for like a full coverage look. That's why I did one pump of foundation. If I wanted it to be more full coverage, I'd probably do a few more pumps, but I'm not really going for full coverage. I just kind of wanted a light application of makeup just mainly to bring down redness. That's kind of my main goal. For the forehead, because there's a little bit more redness in there that I like, I'm actually going to mix a little bit of that concealer that was mixed with the green and the foundation. And I'm going to start dotting that, starting right above my nose and start blending it out. Now, before I set it with a powder, I'm actually gonna do my eyebrows first. And waiting kind of gives my makeup a little bit of a chance to settle in and set a little bit. I am using the Anastasia, however you want to pronounce it. I actually think she pronounces it Anastasia. Yeah, so I'm gonna go in with the Anastasia Dip Brow. This is in soft brown. I like to kind of mix it up, but depending on how bold I want my brow to look. So with this, a little bit goes a long way, and I've used a lot. I use this almost every day. I'll totally fix up my brows before I fix up like my face makeup. I don't know, I like the look of really well done, nice looking brows. I just took like a little bit of this on an angled brush and I'm going to brush that again on the back of my hand like we have with everything else. So then I'm going to start with my right brow and I'm just gonna brush it through. Actually, I'm gonna brush through both of them right now. I'm trying to decide how I want my brows to look today. They desperately need to be plucked, so don't look too close. I think I'm gonna go pretty natural on this for the most part, so I'm just going to kind of go in the tail of my brow. I like to start there. Starting with the tail, I kind of just drew a straight line down the tail, and then I'm going to lightly fill that in a little bit. And then I'm going to draw from like the under part back to where it would meet the arch. And then just kind of fill in the spots that need a little bit more fillage. Yeah, I think that's good enough. I'm not going too heavy with them. Hopefully that doesn't look too heavy. It doesn't look too heavy on my end, but we all have different opinions on what a heavy brow is. And then I'm gonna go in again with the color that I have on the back of my hand and do the other eyebrow. All right, this one's gonna be a little bit more filled in than the other eyebrow. Apparently I just had a little bit heavier of a hand for this eyebrow, so I'm just going to kind of brush through it with the spoolie, especially around the arch because it looks like I deposited a little bit too much product there. That is still pretty intense, so I'm just gonna go in at the other eyebrow and kind of boost it up a bit. Oh well, okay, that looks a little bit more even. Okay, it's probably been about 7-ish minutes until I have done my foundation. So I'm gonna go in with a little bit of powder because I think that's enough time for it to set. I'm using the same translucent powder I used earlier to set my concealer. I'm gonna start around my nose, and then I'm actually gonna do my eyes. I have hooded eyes, which means when I look straight forward, most of my eyelid is, well, covered. Foundation gets in there and it gets trapped on my eyelid, and then it starts to crease really, really bad, which is no bueno. And then I start to focus on the liney areas because I just make faces a whole lot. This part of my eyebrow, or this part of my forehead always creases the first. When I smile, these lines, smile lines, I'm going to dust them with some translucent powder so the foundation doesn't set in there. For my daily routine, I actually don't go in with a whole lot of eyeshadow. I usually just go in with mascara. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm using the Their Real Benefit mascara. This is probably my all-time favorite mascara, but I only buy the travel size versions of them because I'm really lazy when it comes to actually replacing my mascara, which is disgusting and gross, and I'm terrible at it. But also, the full-size version is like $22, and I could just spend my money on other things. So I just buy the trial size versions or the travel versions or whatever. And I think I'm just gonna put mascara on my top lashes today. So that's pretty much my daily routine. I don't usually put on blush or bronzer on a regular basis. I kind of like how I look without that stuff. I feel like blush and bronzer, because I'm so pale, it can just look kind of overwhelming, so I just don't put it on a whole lot. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoyed, and be sure to leave in the comments down below any videos that you want to see me do. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye!